Good morning, everybody. My name is Joseph Smolinski, and welcome to Intro to Studio Art. Welcome to my studio. This is where I make my artwork, drawings and paintings and sculpture, and among other things. I just wanted to go over some of the basics of the course today and some of the important things that you should be thinking about to begin with. And I'll be following up with further videos and correspondence via email and Blackboard. I guess the most important thing about this course is you need to kind of carve out a little bit of a work area or a studio space for this course. And that can be a variety of different things. It doesn't have to be a space with skylights and white walls like this. It can certainly be a desktop, a nook, somewhere that you can have your materials, preferably somewhere you can set something up and leave it and come back to it. I think that's an important part about making art is we don't have to do it all in one setting, but it's actually really good and healthy to work on it a little bit, leave it, come back to it a little bit later and reflect on it and make edits and alterations. So some ideas about that, I think that it's important to have good lighting. So preferably somewhere where you have good light in front of a window, screen porch, anywhere that you can have some sort of good lighting. If you don't have access to natural light, I would suggest getting some sort of lamp or desk light, even a simple corded bulb close by that you can use to light your space. It's good to have consistent, even lighting for the course. Another thing that's going to be important that we're going to talk about in another tutorial is you're going to have to photograph your work. And your phone is actually a really powerful tool to do that. We're going to talk about the proper way to actually make a photograph of an artwork, how to use proper lighting, and you're going to be showing me your work through these photographs. So it's important that we have that clear, really good photos to work from. In terms of studio space, one thing I did want to mention is that there are materials that you can source out that will help you with that. One thing that I often do is just make these very simple cardboard portfolios, and this is just 2 pieces of cardboard about the same size that I can hinge with tape on the edges and fold open. And what's great about this is it's, try to find as smooth cardboard and as hard of cardboard as you can. Different types of mat board and other materials may be appropriate. But this is a great surface that you can tape a piece of paper to, work on it, and then simply close it so it's protected and stow it away somewhere. So that way it won't get bent or damaged or dropped or things like that. So that's a consideration as you're starting to source out materials and think about things. Other things that are great, I often use old pieces of masonite. Forgive me for going off screen. So these are two works that I'm developing right now. They're rather abstract at the moment, but these are just simply pieces of broken masonite that I found, had laying around, and I just simply tape down the edges of the paper to the surface. And again, this is something that I can sandwich together to make into some sort of portfolio. It's a hard surface. It can act like a drawing tabletop. If I set it on something, I can use it to draw on. So these things become important for you to resource out when you're thinking about your space and your studio that you're going to be using for the next 6 weeks. I do want to talk about materials and supplies, and to do that, I'm going to switch over to my document cam so you can see some of the things that we're going to be required. So for this course, we've designed a kit, actually, with our local supplier, Hall's Art Supply. Forgive the wrinkling sound, but here we go. Those are our friends in downtown New Haven, Hall's Art Supply. The supply kit is actually online, and you can access it through Blackboard and the email that I sent out. It'll also be listed on the syllabus. If you purchase the kit, you can choose to actually pick it up, or Sean, the owner, can ship it to you. So let me know if you have questions about that. It's important that you get the supply kit, or you get something close to these supplies as you possibly can. So what we have in the kit to begin with is just a simple drawing set, and this is a Sketchmate, general Sketchmate set. It has 3 different hardness of pencils, so there's a variety of different types of pencils. There is, let's just open it up, shall we? Check it out here. So we have 3 different pencils. They're rated via their hardnesses, so they can draw you know, darker and lighter, easier for us to make drawings with. There's also a very, very black layout pencil, like this one, which is really great for making very, very dark marks on the page. It comes with 2 charcoal pencils, which we may or may not use in the class, but these are really great to practice with for making really wonderful shaded charcoal drawings. It also has a pencil sharpener, a white eraser. This is great for cleaning up all the excess things that you may be working on. It has a tortillon or a blending stick that you can blend and shade with. And then finally, it has a sandpaper pad, which we'll talk about. This is a great tool to actually sharpen pencils with and also use to make a little bit of graphite powder for shading as well. So those are the supplies in the drawing kit, that the pencil layout kit. Additionally, you will get a kneaded eraser, and this is a really helpful tool for when you're drawing, to clean up, to edit. It's just a really great clean eraser to use. Next, we have a watercolor set. So this watercolor set is really great. It has all the colors that we'll need. What's really important about this set is that it has 2 different yellows. We're going to talk about that. Actually, 3 yellows because there's a ochre down here, but 2 different yellows that we'll be blending with. I know it probably doesn't show up very well, but these are actually 2 different reds, and they're actually 2 different blues. And we're going to be talking about how we can mix those together. And then alternately, it does have some earth tones, which are really great to use as well. The cool thing about this set, it's got a little sponge, and it's got this really cool brush that's like a pen, and you can actually fill it with water, screw it counterclockwise, and you can use it to squeeze out water, and you can brush with it as well. So this is a great tool that was included in the kit. Additionally, and this is also what I like about it, it's a travel set, so you could take it, you know, stows away really nicely. Yeah, it has a tray for mixing up on top, which is great. And so this is really, really helpful for what we'll be using for the course. And then additionally, it's really good to have a variety of brushes, different sizes and different shapes. And so this set is perfect for the class and what we'll be using. We also have a X-Acto knife. So this is just a razor blade, like a pen tool. So it's really great for cutting. We're going to be doing a cutting paper exercise in class. And then finally, the paper that we'll be using is called Bristol paper. So Bristol is a heavyweight paper. It has a very smooth surface. There are 20 sheets in here that'll be perfect for the amount of work we'll be doing in the class. And this is 9 by 12. So those supplies you'll definitely need for the course. There are additional supplies that I did not include in the kit, and that is because I felt like these were things that you may have around or you could source out really cheaply, easily. And those things would include some important elements. For example, to begin with, just some sort of ruler. So metal rulers are really great. You could even use some sort of plastic ruler as well. You only really need a 12-inch ruler for the projects that we'll be doing in here, but it's super helpful to have a ruler for this class. Additionally, we are doing cutting, and a scissors comes in super handy. Next, really helpful is a roll of tape. So I prefer blue masking tape. This is a painter's tape, and it's really great because we can use it to mask out areas. So if we tape it down to the surface of the paper, we can paint around it, and paint won't get underneath. And it also peels up really easily as well, so it won't damage your paper. So this is great for holding things together, using for masking out, etc. Next, some sort of glue. So this is simple white glue. Even Elmer's white glue is perfectly fine. A glue stick may be good. This is something that you could find easily, Walmart, Target, any place like that. You may even have laying around. A hot glue gun could be really helpful, especially when we get into the paper sculpture project that we'll be working on. This is a cheap and expensive one. It's a high temp. It has the smaller stick. It's really quick and easy when we're working with sculptural materials coming together. And then last, I just wanted to mention, it's really helpful if you can to have some sort of sketchbook. So this is just something that I can reference, that I can open up and look at drawings and sketches, even notes that I've taken, kind of thinking about the course. If you don't have a sketchbook, You could even just get some paper. So quick and easy way to make a sketchbook. I've got a few sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper. Fold this in half, okay? This. Use my fingernail to sort of seam it and crease it a little bit more. If you want to be really fancy, you can get another sheet of cardstock paper, right? If you have something laying around. I happen to have this red stuff. I'm just going to hold that, all right? And put this together. And there's your sketchbook, right? If you want to make sure that this is held together, you could even use a simple stapler like such and just simply staple the edges a few times, so as close as you can to the edge, right? There we go. And now I have a basic sketchbook that I can use. You know, this is probably roughly, 10 pages or less, but this will be totally sufficient for the course. So just something you can jot down ideas, you can do practice sketch, you can write down study ideas, collect materials, things like that. That's pretty much it for the course materials. If you have questions, please let me know. I'll switch back to our regular camera here. Again, I'll be sending out more information about assignments. One thing I did want to note is that if you do have some sort of wall that you can pin up on, it's also really good. When we start working on multiple projects, it's sometimes good to really pin things up, even if you have a cork board or a bulletin board or anything like that. Even if you magnet it to your refrigerator, you can still step back from it and take a look at the work that we'll be doing, and that can be really helpful when we're thinking about making changes and editing and revising our work. So again, my name is Joseph Smolinski, and welcome to the class. I really look forward to working with you, and hopefully this video will help you get started on collecting materials. We are going to be working on a project very, very soon. At the very beginning, the very minimal thing that you need to have is some basic paper and a basic pencil. But I highly recommend to order the supply kit as soon as possible, or source out materials that you may have already that are very similar, or if not the same. That's all for now. Great to meet you virtually, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.